Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Welcome back to the Primetime Local News Studio. Abby St. John and myself, Josh Ryan, will have the news, weather, sports, and more for you over the next 2 hours. Busy day today. Despite being a slower time of the year, news never really stops in the town.
Oh, definitely not. I don't think it stops anywhere, but that's the whole point.
I guess so. Certainly keeps us employed anyway. We have Eric Bay coming up. He was live on location, as well as your question of the day. We'll start with that man himself, Eric Bay.
Thanks, guys. Well, today we are out here at Rolling Greens, where tonight Monster Pro Wrestling makes its return here in the border city. They did come here a couple months ago for the first wrestling match here in quite a few years, so this should be exciting as they do return here, as they have 6 matches on the way, including 3 title bouts, so it should be a pretty great night of wrestling. So we're going to have a whole lot more coming up with all the wrestlers talking about what is going on here. But before that, we're going to head back to the studio, and Abby will take a look at your local news.
Thanks, Eric. Well, autopsies are being performed today on the 2 bodies discovered by RCMP in a densely wooded forest near Gillam, Manitoba. Authorities believe they are the bodies of suspected killers Cam McLeod and Briar Schmigelski. The 2 teenagers were the subjects of a 2-week-long Canada-wide manhunt in the murders of 3 people in northern British Columbia. There's quite the buzz around Gold Horse Casino since a lucky winner came away with more than $1 million this week. It's the biggest winner since the casino opened in the border city last December. While reflecting on the news, many residents debated what they would do if they won $1 million.
I would probably pay off my house, get a new vehicle, and put the rest away for secondary education for my child.
We'll have more on that story tomorrow evening on Primetime Local News. One local singer is trying her best to make it big in the music industry. And as our Jasmine King explains, every singer has to start somewhere.
If I love you was a promise.
Brianna Gammond is a 15-year-old singer from Lloydminster. She's been performing locally for the past 4 years, but has had a passion for singing ever since she was a little kid.
Ever since I was a kid, I've wanted to sing. I don't know why. When I was around the house, I would just walk around singing. And it's something that I like to do. I was always go in front of my parents and put on a little show when they were watching TV or something. Yeah, and then when I started performing, I realized this is really fun. This is what I enjoy doing.
She's currently learning both piano and guitar, and even though she has been performing for a few years, the nerves still hit her when she walks on that stage.
I'm always really nervous, but I do get excited after when I'm on and I start playing. The nerves kind of go away after a while.
Brianna's music style takes after some of her bigger music role models.
A local artist, actually Sam Lundell, is someone I really enjoy listening to and aspire to be like. I'm a big fan of Billie Eilish or Ariana Grande.
Even though Brianna is only performing for local crowds for now, one day she's hoping that her voice will take her to the next level.
I would like to be performing in front of big crowds and making my own music.
Jasmine King, Primetime Local News.
A local company continues celebrating a decade of business here in Lloydminster by throwing a community barbecue. People gathered at this morning's Client Appreciation Barbecue put on by Assure Occupational Testing. The barbecue was held to celebrate the support that they have had received over the past decade from the community and business partners.
It's important to us to put on this barbecue today. It's our way to say thank you to our clients and to the community of Lloydminster, to the downtown community. It's a small way that we can say thanks.
Keeping with their $1,000 donation each month to local charitable groups, they elected to go with Thorpe Recovery Center this month, a donation they believe is important to the community.
They do so much to help families dealing with addiction. So it's an important, addiction affects most families in our community. So they do really important work out at Thorpe Recovery Center.
There are 8 more donations to come. The other charities and groups will be announced closer to the date when they receive them. It's Miracle Treat Day at Dairy Queen across Canada, where proceeds from every Blizzard purchase is donated to the Children's Miracle Network.
100% of all proceeds. So we just pay for the ice cream milk that's in the back, and we give every penny.
This day gives Dairy Queen the chance to give back to an important organization in a fun way.
Everyone has their own donation that to give to, and Dairy Queen and ourselves, we've been donating to the Stollery for a long time now. I don't even know how long, and it's just a really fun day, and it's fun to give back.
Miracle Treat Day runs all day today until closing. For the last 6 months, Lloydminster Lymphedema has been helping people with lymphedema and lipedema through massage. Eric Bay has more in this week's BioClean Business Bio.
Lymphedema is chronic swelling due to fluid from the lymph nodes, usually in the limbs, caused by trauma like surgery or cancer.
What it is there's a backup of lymphatic fluid for some reason, whether it's primary lymphedema, you could have been born with it, or secondary lymphedema. Lipedema is more of it affects 99.9% of women. It has to do with hormones, and it is an abnormal deposit of fat.
Lipedema can become lymphedema if left untreated. Moxum uses massage to get the fluid moving so it's absorbed by the body, reducing the swelling.
If we have a blockage here, I'm going to be sending this excess fluid up to this big cluster of lymph nodes. So we're sending it to another area of working lymph nodes. So I'm going to use these channels and send fluid different ways. So then I'm going to work on the leg, moving that lymph fluid, and then, like I say, moving it to different channels on the body.
Working in healthcare and wanting to help people led Moxum to start Lloydminster Lymphedema here in the border city.
I've always had a passion for helping people, and when I work in the hospital, sometimes I'd see people with these big limbs, and I just had an interest in it, and I just kept going for more education, and then finally I just became nationally certified.
Early signs of lymphedema include tingling, numbness, and clothes not fitting in the affected area. More on Lloydminster Lymphedema can be found online. And that's this week's BioClean Business Bio.
Business Bio, brought to you by BioClean. Call the Bio Team, 1-833-246-8326. The Disaster Specialists.
Now we're going to Eric Bay, who is on location today.
Once again, we are back here talking about Monster Pro Wrestling as it makes its return to the border city. And Jimmy Zero joins you now, who is the ring announcer for MPW. And now you guys did come here recently, so can you talk about the reaction from fans here from the last event you guys did hold?
We came here a while ago and saw that the fans, they really enjoyed it, had a really good turnout. So I recently actually became commissioner of MPW as well. After seeing the reaction we got with our last show here, thought we have to bring it back, have to give everyone more MPW action. So that's what we're doing here today.
All right, awesome. And now speaking of giving people more MPW action, what do people have to look forward to here tonight as you see the ring getting constructed behind us here?
Well, we've got quite a few big matches. One for sure, we have 3 big title matches. Going to have the main event as a tag team title match. Got a mixed tag match in there as well, and a couple singles matches. So I think everyone's going to walk away happy. Some really good action coming up tonight.
And now once again, you did say you want to bring it back to Lloydminster, so can you talk again about bringing it back to Lloydminster, kind of the reason behind that and just the reaction from fans as well here?
Like I said, when we came the first time, everyone just seemed to really enjoy it. Everyone seemed to be really into MPW, and we love giving the fans what they want. So we want to show more, and I believe we're going to be trying to come back again as often as we can in the future.
All right, thank you for this and have fun tonight.
Yes, thank you very much.
We're going to have some more back from here as Monster Pro Wrestling gets set off to go tonight. But before that, we'll head back into the studio.
Thank you very much, Eric. 21 degrees. That's been a familiar temperature in the border city over the past week. Unfortunately, it's not going to be familiar over the next couple of days when we cool down to some fairly chilly temperatures for this time of the year. Still at least very sunny in the city with a mix of clouds popping through. Certainly warmer as well since 1995. That was a very chilly August back in '95, though they did have some great pop culture back then. Southeast winds around 23 kilometers per hour, so that does bring the feeling of the temperature down 4 or 5 degrees, but still otherwise a pleasant afternoon in the border city. Now, severe thunderstorm watch in effect for southwest of Edmonton, so past Red Deer into Olds territory, closer to the mountains as well. That isn't expected to hit our area anytime soon. We will have increased cloud cover, though, later on in the weekend, so keep an eye on your alerts heading forward if you are traveling or spending much time outside. Current temperatures, you have 21 again in this city, also in North Battleford, 19 in both Cold Lake and Meadow Lake, Isla Cross at 22, Provost 25 degrees, that's the same as the current Edmonton temperature, and Saskatoon, which is getting cloudier by the minute, is sitting at 21 degrees. Your 3-day forecast, 19 and 12 expected tomorrow with north-northwest winds at about 17 kilometers per hour. The wind will be a little bit calmer on Saturday, but it's a degree colder with a very cool evening for this time of the year at 6 degrees. And then on Sunday, 19 again, a low of 9, and a more than 60% chance of precipitation, as well as heavy cloud cover to finish the weekend off on Sunday. That has been a look at your 3-day forecast. We'll have the 7-day later on in this hour.
Welcome back. Well, Alberta researchers are looking to create canola that is more resistant to black leg disease. Eric Bay has more on this research and how it can impact Canada's trade relations in this week's Ag Report.
Blackleg is a common disease found in canola, and it can have devastating effects on farmers' crops.
When it's uncontrolled, you can lose anywhere from 30 to 100% of a crop to blackleg disease. Essentially cuts the stems off, and you don't get ripening or premature shelling out.
Blackleg has been kept under control thanks to genetic resistance, but adaptation has forced scientists to look for a solution to keep blackleg from becoming a bigger issue.
As we plant canola and we plant varieties, the organism adapts. And so our main role right now is to find ways and to deploy ways of managing the genes that go out, that are put out into the environment, because that's what the organism sees and reacts to. So now we're in the era of stewarding those genes.
Studies made on canola provide data that is used to determine whether or not crops are safe for export to other countries, making sure those countries can have faith in Canada's products.
Canada is a country that relies on science-based and rules-based trade. And so when we make an assertion that, for example, we think that blackleg is not a particular risk for transmission in seed lots for crushing, this is based on data.
The blackleg resistance stewardship is currently in the first year of a 4-year plan. Eric Bay, Primetime Local News.
This Ag Report is brought to you by the Lloydminster Co-op Agro Centre. Depend on them for product, tools, and expert advice. Shop at your local Lloyd Co-op Agro Centre with branch locations in Lashburn and Neilburg.
And now we're going to take a look at your egg prices.
We're a part of less than 5% of Canadian auto body shops and Lloydminster's only locations with certified collision care recognition at City Centre Auto Body.
Another wave of inductees are set to enter the Saskatchewan Baseball Hall of Fame on August 17th, and a very notable figure will be in attendance. Arguably the greatest Canadian baseball player in history, former MLB pitcher Ferguson Jenkins will be at the 35th induction ceremony as the evening's headline speaker. Fergie Jenkins spent 19 years in the big leagues, primarily with the Chicago Cubs, but also spent time with the Phillies, Rangers, and Red Sox. Jenkins has quite the resume from his playing career, as the Chatham, Ontario product holds the Canadian record for 284 wins, won the 1971 NL Cy Young Award, and was inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame in 1991. When it comes to speaking, apparently Jenkins does a not bad job with that too.
Anyone that has heard Ferguson speak say it's quite a worthwhile experience. He's a very good speaker and has a lot of not just baseball stories to tell, but life stories.
Some of the notable inductees entering the Hall of Fame at the ceremony include Elmer Franks, who spent time in Lloydminster as a minor league coach and umpire, Don McIntyre, who pitched for Team Canada at the Intercontinental Cup in Florida, and the city of Weyburn will go in as a community. Tickets are still available for the August 17th ceremony by emailing saskbaseballmuseum@sasktel.net. Talent from the Lakeland region is on display at the international level this week as Connor McLennan from Wainwright is representing Team Canada at the Ivan Hlinka Gretzky Cup in the Czech Republic. McLennan currently plays his junior hockey with the Winnipeg Ice and is getting his first taste of representing Canada at the Hlinka tournament. McLennan has 1 goal through the 3 games so far for the Red and White, as Team Canada remains undefeated thus far in the group stage. Their next game is Friday against Sweden. Now we're going to Eric Bay, who is on location today.
Once again, we are back here at Rolling Greens, and we're talking about Monster Pro Wrestling, which is making its return tonight here in the border city. And Phil LaFawn joins me now, who is a coach with Monster Pro Wrestling. But before that, you actually wrestled. So can you talk a little bit about your background in wrestling?
Okay, well, thank you for having me on your show. I'll tell a little bit about my background. I did 56 tournaments in Japan. I did about 25 tournaments in Mexico, lived in Puerto Rico, wrestled all over the States, pretty much traveled the whole world, South Africa, and so many other countries I can't recall right now. So what I'm doing now since I've been retired, I'm trying to pass on some of the experience I've gained from all over the world. There's a lot of great talents you'll see tonight. I hope you see come down here and then see a lot of guys are fine and they do unique stuff, very different from other promotions. So looking forward for a great night tonight.
And now, obviously, you did mention you wanted to give back to the sport. So what kind of made you want to get into coaching like that? Was it just giving back or just kind of share your knowledge?
Right off the top of my head right now, I see so many guys right here. I get to meet so many youth, and they're so passionate about it. Something I used to have. I don't have any more but I have it for the coaching. And when they get the right moves and when they learn the moves, you can just see it coming right out of their skin that they're just primed to entertain. And I think that's a natural high for me.
And now talking to this, you've been with the Monster Pro Wrestling since pretty much the beginning. So what's it like working for Monster Pro Wrestling? What can fans look forward to here tonight?
Well, I have the fortunate of being Sean's friend, the owner of the company, and I was basically on one of his first shows that started out in Edmonton, and we just grew, and I just watched this company grow, and I helped out on it. I used to wrestle for him, then I became a coach, but he's doing so well in Edmonton, and now we're expanding like Lloydminster. He's going to be in Hinton, does Calgary. So he's all over Alberta. We're trying to grow the company, and it's fantastic. I love it. When I used to wrestle for Stampede, Stu Hart, I used to just love traveling all over Alberta, and this is my second go-around.
All right, thank you so much for joining us here tonight, and good luck tonight.
Thank you, sir.
All right, we're going to have some more back from here at Rolling Green, but before that, we'll head back into the studio.
One more look at your watches and warnings board. Still clear in the Midwest and the Lakeland region, and it's going to be a fairly warm evening through till about 4 or 5 a.m., dropping to 15 by midnight, and we'll get down into the low teens by 4 a.m., so a low of 12, then right back into the mid-teens by 9 a.m. Again, this will be a little bit below average going forward for the next couple of days. We're not going to hit 20, certainly over the weekend, 18 for most of Friday afternoon and evening. Wind chill as well going to play a role, so that could drop the temperature in terms of how it feels by about 3 or 4 degrees. So we'll feel around 14 or 13 degrees, which is not Again, particularly warm for the month of August. 23 in Vermilion at the moment. That'll also cool down over the next couple of days. 24 in Vegreville, 25 out in Edmonton, 20 up north in Bonnyville and in Lac La Biche, while St. Paul's at 22 degrees, Wainwright at 25, Provost and Macklin at the bottom of your screen, 25 and 27. Green Lake, Meadow Lake both hanging in at 21 degrees, while St. Walburg has cooled down to 19, Maidstone at 23, and North Battleford at 21 degrees. Dropping to 11 overnight as the skies do clear off a little bit, but they'll have more clouds tomorrow in between a mostly sunny afternoon. The wind shifting from the south to the northwest as well. It will only calm down a couple of kilometers overnight. It'll be back into the low to mid-teens in terms of speeds going forward, with a high expected of 22 degrees. Cold Lake already cooling down to 19, as said before. 13 overnight and a chance of rain. Expecting a couple of millimeters tomorrow with a high of 18. Some wind out of the north-northwest, so it'll feel like it's about 15 degrees tomorrow, maybe 14 due to not having very much sunlight there. Lloydminster again 21 degrees, expecting a pretty clear evening and a fairly clear afternoon as well, though the wind should pick up. We'll have some calmer winds tomorrow night, or this night rather, coming out of the west. Then tomorrow afternoon, when it shifts to the northwest, 17 to 18 kilometer winds, maybe some gusts in the 20 plus range as we're getting right now out of the southeast. Now, 18 and 6 are your low points for the week on Saturday, then 19 and 9 with a strong chance of rain on Sunday, 18 degrees on Monday with a above 50% chance of precipitation there as the wind is strongly out of the east-southeast, then 17 Tuesday and 18 Wednesday until we finally get back up to around average temperatures at 22 degrees on Thursday with a low of 9. The wind by then will have calmed down to 7 or 6 kilometers, and we'll have a couple of days of slightly clearer skies. Again, though, an outside chance of precipitation on Tuesday as well, following those two potentially very rainy days, Sunday and Monday. That's been your 7-day forecast. We'll have more after the break.
Once again, we are back out here at Rolling Greens Fairways, and we're talking about Monster Pro Wrestling as it makes its return here to the border city. And I'm joined now by Phoenix, and now you wrestled here the last time you guys came to Lloydminster. So can you talk about the fans' reaction there and that atmosphere?
It was very well. The crowd was nice and loud, and we'd like to try and get them engaged like that this time if we can as well.
And now you're wrestling tonight, obviously, as we can see. So can you talk about what you got coming up here tonight and what fans can look forward to there?
Tonight, for the first time, I will be tagging with Lumberjack Larry against two of the most hated people in Monster Pro Wrestling, Sexy Sam and Blake Cannon.
And now, again, people coming out here tonight, what are you most looking forward to maybe coming back here to Lloydminster from the fans? Again, from that experience last time, what are you most looking forward to here?
I just like to get the people to want us to come back, right? Like, we want the people to be involved, right? And not, like this show's for, like, the crowd, right? It's not for us, it's for you guys and everybody else to entertain you guys and want us back, right? Like, we don't, like...
Yeah, for sure, definitely. And now, obviously, you got the match coming up, as we did mention. So, any predictions tonight? Is there any chance you guys take the crown?
I'm pretty confident that we probably will. Me and Lumberjack Larry, we're pretty good.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much for this. We are going to have some more from back here once again at Rolling Greens as we talk about Monster Pro Wrestling. The doors opening here at 6:30 before the wrestling does kick off here at 7 o'clock tonight. So we're going to have some more once again back here as they do make that return, talking again about how it went last time, what they're looking forward to this time, and also where they will be heading to next. But before we get to that, we're going to head back to the studio.
Given the recent winner out of Gold Horse Casino, our question of the day, what would you do if you won $1 million? Some good responses, similar answers as everyone is basically saying, get rid of debts and pay for college, then go on a holiday. So Michelle Schubert, for example, finishing renovating the house, get a new vehicle, put some away in the college fund. Sandra Porznik says she'd pay off her credit card and go to Scotland and then give some off to her adult children who are trying to make a go of it. So pretty common theme, basically family first, then debts, and then if you have a little extra, have fun.
Yeah, and then travel is a big one. I don't know. I think I would definitely buy my dream car and then probably save the rest.
Okay, just to clarify, what is your dream car?
A Rolls Royce.
That is a nice car, admittedly.
Yes.
A very nice car indeed. A lot of people too were talking about the types of places they go. A really common one is Costa Rica. Obviously, everyone just wants to get away from the cold at some time of the year.
Yeah, and I think traveling is a big thing that's on a lot of people's bucket lists. Going to Europe or different parts of Africa or Asia or, you know, just anywhere, I think is on a lot of people's bucket lists.
And also a chance to bond as a family if you're able to go in one big round trip. Many family members also get into their pets, and so they like our next segment, which is Pet of the Day. And we'll start with Bellatrix, who looks much friendlier than her Harry Potter counterpart.
Yes, very cute. Love the ears, looks a little rounded, just very cute. Looks like a mini lion.
Indeed, quite the mane. Not exactly a lion next with Gracie.
But adorable with the glasses. I can't tell if that's a filter or their actual glasses, but still cute.
Otis is next, who's another dog out enjoying the boat life.
And sporting a life jacket that just makes him look adorable.
It also makes his owners responsible. And Voodoo, who I believe appeared a couple of weeks ago, is back on the show, and Voodoo misses his owner.
Very, very cute.
And lastly, we have Howie, who is enjoying a nice sun nap.
Yes, enjoying the sun, getting a little snooze in. Very cute.
And lastly, remember, send in the name, send in the picture, win that free gift card.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
Today I'm joined here with Sherry Bauer-Gagne with the Parkinson Association of Alberta, and today we're going to be talking about the Flex Air Step and Stride that is coming up in a couple of weeks. So thank you so much for coming in and explaining this. But first off, can we just explain what the Step and Stride is?
Well, the Step and Stride is a local event that we have that raises the most money for us throughout the whole region because we're an Alberta-based Parkinson Association, primarily the only standalone organization here that supports people with Parkinson's disease. And so we have this event out in Bud Miller Park, and we use it as one of our top fundraisers to help us provide the supports that we do.
And the people who participate, what can they expect when going out and supporting?
No, at the event?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, now you got me excited. So we start the registration in the morning. Hopefully people have registered ahead of time and started their fundraising, and they can get a hold of us, and we have tools and stuff that we can give them and tips. And so they come in the morning of, and they go to the pledge intake or the registration table, and they turn their money over, and then they get ready to have some fun. So what we have is we love to have it as a family event, and so people can bring their kids and their pets. Well, probably cats wouldn't like it, but dogs. So take the dogs out on a walk, and it's just a family fun event. We're going to have some food and some entertainment, and we're supposed to have a wellness fair. Hopefully we'll have that up and going too, but it's just a really great family event for sure.
And reading more on it, is the largest fundraiser that the association puts on. Why is that, and why is it important that the association keeps going with this walk every year?
Well, I think the biggest thing is it's been the longest running, so people know about it. I think this is like our 6th here. But it is our biggest event because people just come. It's in September, so it's warmer, and people come together, and it's just been in the works for so many years. I think people just come to know it's coming up, so they look forward to it. So.
And a big part of this walk is getting more information and more learning about the disease, because it's not just a disease that causes shaking, it causes a lot more problems. And so this walk is a huge part of, you know, getting educated about the disease. So is that the main focus, or that's what you want people to take from this is the educational point of it?
Yeah, for myself, I'm the client services coordinator for the region. So my region is quite large. And so I really want people to become aware and educated about Parkinson's disease, because you're right, it's not just about tremors. There's so many things that come along with it, like cognition and balance and depression and anxiety. I do different programs here in the community, like all the funds from the walk make it possible for me to be in this community, in this region, to be able to provide the supports, one-on-one support to clients, one-on-one supports to families, education about how they can help them stay healthy. Besides taking medication, there's additional things that we can do to make sure that they can stay healthier and keep those symptoms down longer.
And really quickly before we wrap up, in regards to the walk, if people would like to register online or if they have any questions regarding it, how can they do so?
Well, we've got the website, it's the parkinsonassociation.ca, and so go online and check that out. It's a fabulous website with lots of information, and you can register right there, or you can give me a call at 780-808-5006.
Okay, well, perfect. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.